Boost right at the end.
The waifu at the end.
I fucking love it.
I gave it the title card for episode 6, but it still says 3. I don't care. Whatever. We're on episode 6, so for real. I'll edit that later. I don't care.
Gotta have that big-breasted blonde.
Oh yeah, she got to be in there. That was our anime waifu episode at one point. So that's why she was in there. And I was gonna give a nice big nuclear explosion at the end of the video. You know,
yeah.
Here, I was gonna do that, but hey, ran late today. It was one of those days. So yeah,
man, it's Thursday with the week's dragging on. You do what you can.
It really is.
Oh, man, it looks damn sunny where you're at, Nuke.
Yeah, the sun just came out in Dallas, but like all week it's been like just dreary. It's making me depressed.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's been raining all over the country this week. It's ugly as shit out.
Yeah, I noticed that too. When I left Dallas, it said freeze warning on Is it Sunday? I left at like 5 in the morning, and I went, okay, 31 degrees out, sweet, nice.
Yeah, it doesn't know. It doesn't know what to do right now. Like the weather just doesn't know what to do. It hasn't picked the lane yet.
The weather is female.
Yeah. Mother Nature. Mother Nature.
Yeah. Nature is hypergamous.
Yeah, I would say that Houston is a female and Dallas is a Twitter female. So different level of chaos.
Yeah.
Different level of chaos there.
Twitter females don't get laid. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the rap femmes, the rap femmes were at it today, man, on Twitter.
Oh my god.
What happened?
Oh, rad femme, mid-century German mustache man. Was
mid-century German mustache man.
Thank you.
Mid-century German mustache man.
Yeah, she was. She's back at it on
wacky waving inflatable arm waving too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if her old account must have been banned or something, but I had her blocked a long time ago. But I guess she's back with this new account now and making the rounds once again. You know, but you got to play with them. You know, it's just how it goes. If her docs is to be believed as well, she's actually like a pretty attractive chick too. So you know, she really has no business pontificating and bitching about things on Twitter. But you know, whammon, am I right?
Am I right?
Exactly. Good mercy.
How about that airline food?
Yeah,
delicious.
I feel like we're this is King of the Hill. We're all drinking a beer out for. That's what we're doing right now.
I'm.
They need to make a King of the Hill. They need to make a King of the Hill anime.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god.
Propane. Propane and propane accessories.
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
Nick
I
Aldrich.
bet you there's an anime intro.
Oh, there probably is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had to have made it at some point. I remember like a SpongeBob one was making the rounds maybe like a couple years ago or something. It's like if SpongeBob was an anime. Yeah.
There is
of course there is
SpongeBob anime intro.
Oh, you'll probably find it like right.
Oh my god.
Yes, welcome to the internet.
Yeah.
You'll find everything on the internet. Yeah.
There's anime of everything and porn of everything.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, the Austrian painter scene anime is just strange.
Oh my god! I don't have time for that today. I need.
You were prepared.
Like big titted Austrian painter waifus. It's like, what?
I remember you were putting a couple of those in our chat once.
Don't tell them.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's like, hey, Hawk, this is your neck of the woods. It's like, god damn it!
How would you open?
How would you open?
Roman salute.
Join my anime concubines.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They'll join my concubines. Yeah, exactly.
Join my concubines. That's right. Just like the Kesha concubines you posted earlier, Jack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm enjoying your tweets lately, Jack, about number one, have a look, and then you actually are doing the how would you open ones again. And it's nice because those have been like out of fashion for a little bit here, and they're coming back. And I don't know, it's just our guys
return.
Well, it's just like our guys just slinging jokes all the time now, which makes it way more fun. So
it's like you always get the guys who respond to that and go with the "I wouldn't open." Then why the fuck are you responding?
yeah,
You
exactly,
fucking gay.
exactly.
I can't say the word now on YouTube, but the F word. It's like then go away.
Yeah,
Fork.
exactly. Yeah.
You fucking fork.
There always is like that one guy, no matter what you tweet, will just say something like completely out of left field, has nothing to do with the conversation, and looks like it just came out of like first year Rational Mail blog. And it's like, come on, dude, really? Well, get the fuck out of here.
He just read Roosh's first book.
Yeah.
Which was actually good. Roosh's first.
Which I haven't read it. I haven't read it. What is it, Bang or something like that?
Yeah, I thought it was like Daybang or something. Yeah.
No, Bang is the first one. Then Daybang.
Man, I didn't read it, but I knew a lot about it as older.
Yeah, I haven't read any of Rush's stuff.
It was good.
I read his blogs when I was a kid. When I was younger.
I used to like all that stuff. Yeah, I remember when he offended everybody with wanting to legalize a certain thing. I don't want to say on live, but yeah, you remember that. I remember one of my friends taking it so seriously. A friend of mine was like, "You can't even. You shouldn't even be posting anything from that guy. He supports the league." I said, "You don't understand the context, do you?" But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave it to you to figure it out.
I mean, Roosh was kind of pushing there, where it's like
little bit.
Yes. Mate, no.
Yes. No, agreed there. Yes, but it was kind of funny just to see.
It's like on the old Chateau Hartis stuff when they started getting into, let's just call it very right-wing politics on there. And needless to say, it didn't stick to its original purpose anymore. But, it
was funny that Brittany Venti, that was Brittany, right? Did a YouTube thing with Roosh.
Yeah, she did like a blood sports thing or something.
And Roosh just completely lost his shit. And she just sat there baking cookies or something.
And now she's banned from YouTube. Well, she's been reinstated now, but she got banned this morning for a little bit.
It's because she swiped left on Nuke.
That's right. I thought Nuke was saying that on Twitter. Yeah.
I was looking for it.
I came across her profile, dude. Like, you'll be surprised. All these like pseudo celebrities, like on the internet, like what's the tranny girl? Oh shit, am I allowed to say
Blair White?
Do it.
Yeah, she has a Tinder profile in Austin, like open every time. Like, so what I would do, I'm like, I gotta screenshot this, but I don't want to put it on like Twitter because I don't know if I get in trouble or But so what I would do, I was like deciding, and then I would be like, okay, well, so I would refresh my Tinder because I had a job that I had some work down there, and then like I'd swipe, and then on the 5th or 6th girl would be her, and I'd be like, all right, I'm just I'm gonna screenshot and then think about it, and then obviously I didn't swipe left. Sorry, I obviously didn't swipe right, but like also Brittany Venti, she lives in North Dallas, and she popped up, and her profile is political. Like, it was kind of cringe. Like, she's
really.
Her eyes are really far apart, right? But maybe that makes more space for the brain or something. Maybe she's a smart girl, but
how old is she?
She's got to be in her 20s.
Yeah, she's not like, I guess she's smart, but like not like post wall.
Well, she's a woman, so she can't be
woman
that
smart. Yeah, like you could tell a lot of women's intelligence does not coincide with like awareness. So she has very little awareness but high intelligence, which is a trait of young people. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, her profile said, "Oh, I don't like something about like human trafficking, or you support OnlyFans culture or something." I'm like, this is Tinder. Like, chill the fuck out.
How
trying to fuck?
Do people ever read?
Yeah,
like, do we ever read this shit?
Wouldn't that be
well, I read.
Yeah,
I read because I'm like, and I think I didn't know who she was before this, but I'm like, I feel like I've seen this girl before somewhere, and then like I went digging or something. I'm like, oh, that's that internet girl, and then I was like, well, I'll swipe right, but there's no way in hell I'm getting this girl. Like,
I feel like she would be way, way too fucking dramatic.
Oh my gosh,
just be such a fucking handful.
Yeah. I've been like, there's something off. I don't know how it is where you live, Jack, but there's something off with girls that get a lot of money online just for like just doing YouTube or Twitch. I've seen like there's something off. Like, there's like a screw loose, and they're like, it's like this ADHD. They can't focus on one thing, and they really defer to like asking men for money. Like, there's this girl I know that I've been talking to, and I went and saw her Twitch stream. She plays like Warzone, I think. I just drop in and mess with her, and then I think she's starting to find out who I am because I'm like anonymous. And then she texted me, she's like, "Hey, are you this?" And then like earlier, she asked me for like, "Hey, can you give me $2,000?"
Whoa!
And I'm just like, "What is wrong with you people?"
They're just used to getting it, so they just think that's like how all men are.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's not that serious. You're playing Warzone, You're not like, you're not playing real Warzone. Those guys need $2,000 bonuses.
Exactly. Like it really just gets to their head in all these kinds of things just because they're women and they will automatically get attention basically no matter what they do, and they think they're hot shit at things. It's kind of like I don't know, kind of like an emperor has no clothes kind of thing, or like a boy king or something. Like when you just are surrounded by a bunch of yes men, like you actually think you're hot shit at something, like the whole gamer girl phenomenon in general. It's like, oh, like I play games. I'm like, no, you don't. There's no way.
The girls that play games are so quiet about it. Like they'll come in, they'll come over. Hey, you have Mario Kart? I'm like, I'm going to destroy this girl with Black Yoshi. And then we play, and I'm just like struggling to even get within 100 meters of her. I'm just like, what the heck? You can be at Twitch right now, just have your boobs out and then play and then challenge people. You be rich, but some girls just like the game. A lot of guys can't accept that some girls they're gamers, but they're not like internet e-girls. They just play games just for fun.
And I don't mind that. I actually like that a lot. I've always,
I'm great.
I've always been a sucker, even since back in my teen years. I've always liked nerdy girls and stuff like that. Now it seems like it's the hot thing because you see them online, so they're just more. They appear, as we've always said, more attainable, more even the more mid ones, as they would say. But everybody wants them, even the less desirable looking ones. Everybody wants them because they go, oh, gamer girl, oh, I want some of that now, and so every girl wants to be a gamer girl. And when everyone's a gamer girl, nobody is.
It's just the problem with literally anything. When something becomes popular, women will decide it's time to adopt it as an identity. You see this all the time in like right-wing circles, like where women will get in there and start like rejecting feminism or something like this. It's like, okay, all right, really. You're just showing up here, saying the correct words, showing a little bit more cleavage than the other chicks on here, and immediately get like tens upon thousands of dudes who are proudly proclaiming on Twitter, "Oh man, guys, just one more day. We're so close to defeating feminism. It's around the corner. Trust the plan, man."
So it's exactly like women in the manosphere.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, what is like the hit rate for like actual women on the internet who are complete fucking spurgs? I mean, we've been talking about this in our chat how there's like 2. That's basically it. So what is that? Like, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000? How many?
I don't even know. I don't want to know.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I think it's predatory. I think the whole thing is that like I went to an anime rave the other day here in Dallas, and it was fun. Like, but I went to people watch because it's my first time at an anime rave, so I was like, okay, I just want to people watch. It's probably I'm gonna be the oldest dude there probably, and also like I just want to people watch. I just want to see. It was like based on Demon Slayer, so it was a lot of fun. And then like the way the scene was like a whole bunch of like nerdy guys, which they were pretty cool. They came up to me and they talked, and obviously they're pretty awkward, and then the girls that were like mid to not that attractive were showing the most amount of skin possible. And they went all out with their cosplay. And I mean, I respect it. Like they put in work. Like they probably had to sew stuff together and stuff. And then every girl that was like a little bit more attractive had a group of 2 or 3 guys with her, like her entourage, her bodyguards or whatever.
Of course.
And then there was like the top 2 or 3 girls there that were just like I couldn't take my eyes off them. They were so hot. They were just I couldn't, and I feel like, and I understood. I'm like, this is where the OnlyFans money comes from. Like this is it right here. Like I finally clicked because you always wonder like these girls are bragging like, oh, I make so and so on OnlyFans. I'm like, who? Because I look around, I go to the gym, I walk around, like none of these people look like they would pay a woman to like fake a relationship online with them, But then I went to one of these anime raves, and these guys are cool guys, really nice. Like, if you would go up to them and you would say, "Hey, what's your favorite episode? What do you think of this?" They would like talk, and a lot of them are lonely. They want friends. Like, it's really sad, but at the same time, like I'm happy that I get to see, and talk to these guys, and just get in the scene and relax. But like I can see it, and it's like, oh, it's like a click. It clicked for me. I'm like, this is where these guys, they go to these anime raves. They see these super hot girls. They probably follow them on Insta, and then they sign up, and that's how it is. Yeah, it's sad, but
yep. It's actually interesting you bring that up too, because that was one thing I was thinking about making a topic of this episode too. Is the dudes that will follow gamer girls everywhere. You look in any kind of gamer community. When I was up there in Dallas, I went to that Round 1 arcade, and you got all those music games and stuff that I like. Yeah, and you got the girls that are playing it. The dudes will watch them and act like, "Oh, you're so good at what you do."
Everywhere you go,
they'll be looking at them going,
"Oh,
no." That's their opener. Is you're so good at this. And when I was playing, it was funny because I played one of the games I'd never played before, and this girl comes up next to me while she's playing. She goes, "Hey, you're really good at this. I've been playing this for several months. When did you start? Because I want to get to yours." I said, "Yesterday."
Sandbagging.
Nice.
Yeah,
it was great though. So I wouldn't look. I could have looked over at her though and been like those other guys that we see. Those just like those curly guys. They're like, "Oh wait, I gotta go up and say something. What's my opener?" And they go,
Just doing the voice.
You're so good. You're so good. What you do, and it's just it's been like that forever though. Like for as long as I can remember in the gaming communities, at least in the past 15 years, maybe more. It's just gone. It's such cringe. And you're talking about that anime rave. I'm thinking about I went to a convention up there too that was happening, and I saw a lot of that too, where it's like the girls were dressing. Which one?
WeebCon? Is it?
No, it was something that was free, and I wish I remember what it was called. Okay. But they had like the Charlie Brown voice actor there and Lucy and a couple other people.
Oh, okay, like a Comic Con, not only an anime. Okay, I gotcha.
It was something like that. But it was fun, and but I got to observe a lot of what you were talking about exactly, like the mid to less mid girls showing more skin than the the ones that I don't know. Some of them though, like you said, put a lot of effort into the stuff, and it actually looked really cool. So, but yeah, the guys though almost ruined.
It's the guys, man. They always ruin it.
Yeah,
they do.
Many such cases.
And I always wonder to myself, when me and my friends, we go, "Oh, look at those normies over there acting like typical guys." We go, "Wait a minute, have we become the normies now? Are we the ones that are scoffing at the guys that don't know what they're doing?"
Hans, are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies now? Yeah,
exactly.
Become the villain.
Yeah. I mean, it's not nothing wrong with being a normie. Just don't be a
autistic.
Dork.
Yeah.
But be a nerd, not a dork. There you go.
There's a big difference between the two. I think I read that somewhere. Being a nerd is somebody who's passionate about a certain thing that they really like. Being a dork is taking anything, not even something you're passionate about, and just being too extra about it or too dramatic or whatever. There's a big difference between the two.
It's like that fine line of adopting something like as an identity officially, and then making it all you. Jack's laughing right now.
But Hawk, you made such a good point. It's like, I think the whole vegan craze, I think because women got into veganism. Like all of a sudden, veganism. It's happening to carnivore now as well. It's like, I'm a carnivore.
It's like that fucking account. I'm sure you're aware of it, Jack. That carnivore, an alias or whatever the fuck. It's one of those
Aurelius.
Yeah, whatever. It's run by
Chick. Like girl.
Fucking Chick runs that account. Well,
people don't know that. Then they go, "Oh yeah, well, easy for you to say as a guy," and I go, "It's a girl, right?" And then I hate that.
Be silly. I always thought it was a guy. I'm like, huh? Because he posted like faceless photos once.
There was at one point a link to her Instagram or something like that where you could find all of her actual pictures and stuff. So yeah, she's one of those. She's okay. She's one of those what I call a gym start girl, but where they're always wearing shirts and trying to look at me as possible.
You know what's strange? So I was out and about in a city nearby with Watson, and like Nuke just mentioned, the guys being all over the girls, like showed a bit of skin, whatever. But do you know how rare it is for people to be attractive? It could be me, but we were walking out and about, and most people just walk around with a scowl on their face, and they're fat, and they just look miserable. And I'm like,
miserable looking.
Jesus Christ! And at a certain point, we were at the store, and the store clerk was fixing something up, and I go, like, is it me? Or is everybody here just looking miserable? The guy just starts laughing. He's like, no, that's not you, man. That's not you. That really is a thing.
I'm telling you, man, the Kung Flu killed a lot of, industries, man. Like everybody's just shut-ins now. It's nuts. I'm seeing less and less like hot girls just out at the bars and stuff now, man. Like I really do think that with COVID, it really just did made it like socially acceptable for the really, really hot girls to just specifically use like online dating at this point. Like it wasn't like a hit to their ego anymore. And so now, they just have no reason to like go to the bars that they did before. I got 200 guys in my DMs. I could just pick one of those, just make my life easier. I don't have to deal with rejection from, the guy at the bar,
But
it's not even just like, local. I was going to say it's not even
the end of the afternoon. Everybody walked around as if they wanted to die. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Come on, people, smile a little. It's like,
or go back to their screens. I think it's the screens thing. We got so used to. Like, I love my screens. Like, I like all my screens. I like my PS4 screen. I like my my Nintendo Switch screen. I like my piano screen. I like all my screens. But I know, like, after a while, after a couple days, I'm just like, man, I need to go I need to go socialize. I need to. And if it's been like more than 3 or 4 weeks since I've been to a bar, I have to go out and grab a drink, something, at least people watch. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Maybe when I'm married with kids, that'll change. But if I'm a single guy, I need fresh air here and there.
No, I feel you, man. And it's tough too, because like, I don't know about you guys, but like it's tough just to find like, solid groups of like dude friends like in your area. They're actually down to actually go out and do things, which is honestly why I like you guys so much as well. I mean, most of my like really, really, switched on IRL friends. I mean, we're spread out all over the country at this point, man, like jobs different ways, it's not, I mean, and it's easier than ever to stay connected. I mean, like I talk to my bros like all the time because we're in group chats and shit, but it's just not the same of like being there in person. You can just call up your dudes like, hey, let's go to the gym. Hey, let's go to the bar hopping, come over and let's play some Mario Kart or whatever. So it's tough, man.
That was my thing that's why I had to go to Dallas to see my best friend of 20 years. So, he moved up there and now I have to, he's only 4 hours away. So it's not a big deal, but it was nice to be able to just spend about 4 or 5 days being able to wake up in the morning. Hey, let's go to the gym. Hey, let's go here. Let's go do whatever we want. And we were able to we live stream some gameplay, things like that. Just fun stuff with the guys that I can't do separately, like, but like you said, it's like I've got to have that same feeling of going out and socializing as well, because I can sit at home and I got plenty to do, but sometimes people watching, I do enjoy doing that too. I'm a fan of that. Sometimes I'll provide commentary in my head, or when I'm with my friends, we'll give some commentary about what's going on around us with other people. It's fun to do.
Yeah, I just like doing, like right now I'm like I want to go see what, like this rave I went to. Like I opened the girl, like I talked to a girl, she looked at my outfit, she's like, oh, you look like your house husband, right? And I was like, yeah. And I started like talking to her, like, but she got pulled away by her entourage, right? And she wasn't even that attractive, but I just wanted to talk to people. Like I was like, yes, talk to me. Yes. I don't even care if anything happens. I want to talk. And that's a good attitude to have, just to have one conversation a day at least to keep you, sane.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I always tell guys if they pop up in my DMs, like, where do you get started with this thing? And I just tell them, like, dude, the easiest way to do it is to just force yourself to have conversations with people that are already sociable for their jobs, like your cashiers, your waitresses, your bartenders, like the people that just have to be social for their jobs. And that's just the easiest way to do it, man. Just be comfortable talking to a stranger. It doesn't even have to be flirtatious.
I mean, I got a new sports jacket, and what was it, at H&M, and they now have these. I call them the Bachelor checkout, but just these automated checkouts.
The anime final boss jacket. That's what you
need.
No,
but they have those things at H&M now as well, and like when you buy a sports jacket, the pockets are all sewn closed, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna wear this anyway. Can you like open them, like cut the what's that thing? What's
The pockets.
Yeah, like cut open the pockets, cut open the string. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked to the normal register, and like it took a while for somebody to get there, and I was like, Jesus Christ, just interact with me. My God. So I just started talking about the registers. It's like, what's that all about? Like you guys are trying to force people not to talk to you guys anymore or something? And the lady was like in her late 40s or something, but she was just enjoying the conversation. So I was like, oh my God, people are still talking.
Yeah, we're social animals, you know, we're supposed to be talking to each other, you know.
Yeah, but like most chicks these days, like that golden Rolo opener, like you should smile war, is really applicable. Like resting bitch face is just the norm. Oh, what is your guys' opinion on that? Is resting bitch face a shit test?
Good question.
You guys go first. I gotta think about this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Or as Matt Gold likes to put it, we live in a pandemic of fucked women.
Well, that's 100% fucking true. That absolutely is true. You know, for sure. We definitely would not have so many chicks on all manner of social media just bitching non-fucking stop all day. If I was ever made king, that'd be one of the first things I'd ban. All women are forbidden from talking about sexual dynamics online because like they just form a massive ass fucking hive mind, and it's just not healthy for them to be talking about this subject the way that men are. I mean, men are hunters. We have to swap notes, but it's just so destructive. Like just in your spare time, go like peruse like female dating strategy and just see the absolute fucking dumpster fire on there. It's like, holy fuck,
dude. TikTok is full of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I
get so tired of it. Like I'll be chilling out with my girl here or something like that, and I'm scrolling through, and then she overhears it. And she's like, "What did she say? What? No, you know." And I'm going, and it's quite entertaining to hear what she says about it. You know, whenever I'm listening to it, because I'm going, this is a load of nonsense, and she'll start saying the same thing, and it's quite entertaining. But that's about the most entertainment I'll get out of it. Otherwise, I go, you sound exactly like every other TikTok girl on here with that same kind of content. It gets boring after a while, really. I mean,
this really is. It really is one of Rolo's like better points that he makes about things like the gynocracy, in the sense that like females are seen as like the power centers in our society, because like that's what women just go to immediately, like for their advice, like, oh, why isn't this boy texting me back or whatever, and they just find this absolute cesspool of shit on TikTok. And you shouldn't be thinking this way. You shouldn't be like planning ahead, like 15 steps ahead. It's like, oh, how am I going to manipulate this dude? It's like, no, that's how men should be thinking.
You know what the dumb thing is? It's so easy to get a guy. It's fucking easy to get a guy. Just show up, have tits,
be nice. That's literally it. They're like,
yeah. And even then, if you smell bad, the guy would be like, "Wow, she smells bad. That's hot." Like,
I like those pheromones.
Anyway.
God. Garbage is my favorite smell ever.
It smells like a Garbador. I love her.
I love roadkill.
Yeah. I remember that was like an old Patrice O'Neill joke. You know, he's
like, "Oh yes, it was. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like, you see that girl passed out behind the dumpster. I'm still gonna do it."
I've always liked the what was it a while back? Ryan said something about. He said, "Just be feminine and pleasant, and you got us." Basically, feminine being the physical traits and the social traits that you carry as well. If you're acting and talking like a guy, most of us, I say most, don't like it. There's always those guys in between that will not mind being dominated, but
but is resting bitch face a shit test? Go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, to answer that, I would say I have talked to quite a bit of girls that would have that kind of face, but a lot of the time they would change if they're spoken to correctly. I guess if you talk to them as most guys wouldn't. I guess if you open properly, everything like that. That face is gone. That RBF is gone. I've maybe it's the whole I can fix her thing, but I see it as a challenge for me.
I think I generally agree with Governor here, but I think I'd describe it like this. You guys know how there's like an epidemic of people like slouching because they're sitting at their chairs all day and like their backs getting readjusted and everything. I think it's the same thing with women. Like they just are like default like resting bitch face from looking on their fucking phones all the time and everything.
I make it like a thing to like almost get eye contact with everybody I walk into and just say good morning, good afternoon, whatever. Just be friendly, whatever. And like the reactions you get are subpar, just mediocre.
Yeah.
Where it's like where you try to make the best out of your day and you're like, hey, good morning, good afternoon, whatever. Like, hey, and it's just
yeah.
When it does work though, like they light up like a Christmas tree. Like when Robert and I met for lunch a couple weeks back, we had this smoking hot fucking waitress come up to us and was taking our orders and everything. And it was funny because it was just like me and Robert pinging off of each other, off of this chick and everything. And she was just lighting up like a Christmas tree, man. She was so excited. She's like, "Oh my god, these people can actually talk and everything." And yeah, it was fun.
When it's like when it clicks, it is just amazing. I've had like girls like walk in my direction. And I just say good morning or whatever, and all of a sudden they light up where it's like, oh my god, and somebody actually says something. It's rare, but it does happen.
Somebody wishes me a good morning.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and all of a sudden, do you mean to say it is a good morning, or do you wish to tell me a good morning whether I like it or not? It's like, oh my god.
Overthinking.
Now, if she says that, then you got to ask her out.
Yeah. Perhaps this is just a morning to be good on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I have an unpopular opinion that first movie is actually good.
But, yeah, the first one is good.
Which movie?
The Hobbit.
Oh yeah, the Critical Drinker did a whole like he trashed the Hobbit really hard, and I'm like I kind of agree with him, but like how do you fit those three movies? His biggest complaint was that it was too drawn out, the three movies.
I agree,
and that they should have put it all in one movie. But
they could have done it too. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Sometimes like the bias when you read a bad review and then you watch a movie can ruin it for you. You know. Sometimes
yeah, it's true.
Enjoy a movie.
I mean, I like No Time to Die.
Yeah,
that Bond movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
The newest one.
I didn't like that one.
I didn't see it, so
yeah, but you're gay.
So. Well, I mean, there's that, but I'm also a big 007 fan, so you know.
I bet you're a 00 fan. Yeah, these nuts.
Yeah.
Got him.
But I think it was supposed to be two movies of The Hobbit. It was originally planned, and then as soon as the first one came out, they went, you know what? We're going to make it 3, and we're going to
inject women
and then add in another story to it.
Why is Tauriel there, and who the fuck is Tauriel even?
Yeah, that story too, yeah. I love Legolas. He's my favorite, but why is he in that movie?
Also, why was she redheaded? There's no redheaded elves in Middle Earth. You know, I mean, like, you know,
are there now?
Obviously,
I don't know.
But, yeah,
Rings of Power might have changed that. You know,
they're literally supposed to be like extreme, like Hyperborean people, like the whitest, palest skin and long blonde hair. Like, you know, all of them are.
No,
and they're supposed to be like radiant. You know.
Yeah, no red guards from Skyrim. The black people were red guards. Right?
Yeah.
There's no red guards in Lord of the Rings.
No.
There's no nuclear caudillos in
Austrian painter's dream. It's like, oh my god.
There's only red guards in Skyrim.
Would it be?
And we're canceled.
Skyrim. You think they can make Skyrim into a film?
I don't want them to right now. No.
Yeah,
Peter Jackson. Yeah, unless it's Peter Jackson on the keys right now. Nope. No.
It'd be a long. Yeah, it'd be really long.
Yeah. It's like.
Tell me.
I don't even really trust Henry Cavill to do like a 40K thing just because of like all the influences from the studios and everything. Like his heart's in the right place, man. But
just
know they're gonna put in female space.
He's fighting a losing battle.
Yeah,
he's fighting a losing battle. I respect him for it though.
I was going to say the Super Mario movie, where like if
I'm going to see that.
Oh boy.
Well, okay, but look at the first trailer. You know, like Peach comes on screen, and Peach is like this badass, kick-ass, take names, no taking bullshit, whammon, and Mario is kind of like the dork. It's like, what? We're doing this trope again, and apparently, I don't know if it's true, but Japan called them back. Where it's like, hey, Universal, we're in Japan, and about us, we don't give a goddamn crap about your fucking ideology. Fix that shit. It's like, no, Mario's the hero in his own movie.
Mr. Popo nationalism.
The Japanese are going to save like all of like Western entertainment. Just
really,
the anime is the only anime, and the thing is, with anime, like I watched Demon Slayer I finished Demon Slayer a couple months ago, and I'm like, I look back at it, I'm just like, dude, like there was female characters that were badass, but never at the cost of the guys. The guys were like, if you were competent, you were competent. No one cared if you had tits or not. Like if you were a badass, you were a badass, and that's it. And that's always been the approach for anime, and people like that.
I mean, it has been for a long time too.
Yes.
Yeah, even in like, the normal movies that we watched for the last like 30 years, it's so unbelievably like subversive and such bullshit that people think that like female characters were invented in like 2012. It's like, shut the fuck up. Have you watched a movie before?
It's like Jennifer Lawrence, the first female action hero. It's like,
don't you even? Yeah, I was about to go into that too.
Yeah, go watch T2.
Yeah.
Go watch Aliens.
Is it any wonder that we don't care how the girl is if she's a good character in an anime, and we end up finding those girls sometimes attractive too? We're like, hey, yeah, that's the kind of girl I like. If she was only real, you what?
I wonder why we like anime waifus so much.
I don't know.
Could it be the personality?
Yes.
It was just refreshing, it's just refreshing to see it's actually just refreshing to see like peak, physicality from women, and also them just not be like strong boss bitches. I mean, like, I know you were critiquing my statements on the Northmen, Jack, but it was just refreshing to watch a movie where there were like traditional gender roles all the way across the board.
Okay, that is true. I mean, in that sense, the movie was like pure gold. But story-wise, I found it very anticlimactic.
Yeah. I found that movie very intense. Like that, as a person who's a big fan of like Bronze Age perverts work, like watching that movie, it was like, wow, this is like a BAP wet dream, basically. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I think it's worth a watch.
If I haven't seen it either, but is it worth watching if you've seen the show Vikings too?
I've never seen Vikings.
I did.
Would you say it's worth seeing in that aspect, or would you say Vikings is better?
I mean, the first couple of seasons were okay, but at a certain point, Vikings really went the strong independent female route, where like the whole Shield Maiden thing. Like at a certain point, that it becomes just unbelievable. Where it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's nice that there's absolutely none of that in the Northman.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, if there's any of that in there, because that was the thing that got me about the show when I watched it. I went, really? Like, we got to deal with this? And
yeah, it's a very, very masculine film. I'll say that. I think I agree with Jack's like critiques, like story wise, but it really just is refreshing to see a movie where it's just nothing but like pure ultra masculinity that used to exist on this planet with no holds bar, and it's just like, oh, this is literally just how the world was and how it existed, and people were just complete fucking madmen and wild. So
like Finland Saga.
Oh yeah, that's like that anime, but with the Vikings. Yeah.
I mean that's so far like of the Northmen, Vikings, and then Finland Saga. Finland Saga is fucking amazing. It's good. It's great. Okay. It's awesome. Go watch it. It's like a same son revenge father story, but better.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Just adding to the list. Adding to the list of so many things to watch.
No. It was a traditional like the trad wet dream too. God of War, because it was like father and son.
Oh yeah.
And also you get to rip the Valkyries into pieces. So it's like
that game itself makes me want to buy a PlayStation. I've been an Xbox owner for as long as I can remember. But
oh my god, you really are gay.
Yeah, I know.
Xbox.
I like it, man. Their internet service was always better up until recently, and like I liked the controller way better.
And the little X reminds you of a chocolate starfish. Brings you back.
Yeah, indeed. Chocolate. That's exactly why. That's exactly why.
Fred Durst, yeah.
But no, I'd like to play those God of War games. They look pretty good.
Dude, they're like some of the best games I've ever played. Like do you like? I don't know. It's just the thing is that like what I'm noticing is that like all the games that we grew up on, right? Like let's say the God of War franchise, it was all about just hack and slash, kill everything, don't care. And you always knew from the beginning you wanted to kill Ares. There wasn't really that much story besides, maybe a betrayal here or there. When you play the ones for PS4 and PS5, they introduced like the family aspect and the retribution and like consequences for the actions of like your past. Dude, people are craving that in movies. Like all the movies that are centered around, like everyone's moving on from the superhero stuff, moving more into the family, the family aspect of like movies. So like a God of War, like God of War 1 would not do that well today because simply people are just tired of just like action. They want action, but with like consequences, family, father son, mother daughter, whatever, all that stuff. And I think that's why a lot of these movies that are like family oriented but also full of action are killing the box office right now.
I mean, Avatar 2 is a prime example of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very family centric film.
Yeah, even the anime is like, the whole reason Demon Slayer is the reason was he's trying to save his sister from turn her back from being a demon, and that's the driving force, and then like people want that family kind of like, because they're tired of just strong women destroy a bad guy with 2 kicks. Like people don't.
I mean, season 3 of Demon Slayer is releasing soon. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. Like I read the manga, and they're doing the Swordsmith Village arc, I believe it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It is golden. It is so good. Like a kick-ass female character who is not a boss bitch. It's actually very feminine, but still very capable. And like the whole family aspect comes back into it, like turned up to 11. It is. Can we just say that Demon Slayer is one of the best animes we've had in the last couple of years? I won't say the best, but it's goddamn up there.
I'll take your guys' word for it. I know eventually, Jack, you're gonna convert me to an anime.
Don't watch Demon Slayer. Eventually. Stop being gay.
Yeah, it's
it's hard, but I'll pray for you.
It starts slow, but like the season 2 especially. You remember the fight between like Vegeta and Goku? That's how it gets. That level of intensity where everyone's pitching in. People get beat up, slid out the fight. Then another person comes in, they get badass, and then they get beat up and slid out the fight. And then all of them come together, and they all like it's that level of just. And I was like, as a 33-year-old man, I was on the edge of my seat watching Japanese cartoon characters go at it, and I was just like, come on! And like my fists were clenched. I'm like, come on! And I'm like, I haven't felt that since I was like 13.
At a certain point, I just yelled at the screen, was like, why won't you die? It's like Jesus. That Tengen fight. Oh my god! Yes.
It was when like Thanos stabbed Tony Stark in the stomach during the Infinity War. I was deployed watching that, and I saw it. And everyone in the room, we were all watching it. We were just like, our jaws dropped, and we were just like, we were shocked. I mean, like movies don't have that magic anymore.
Yeah, it's tough, man. But like, I mean, Marvel might be on the way out here, man. I mean, Ant-Man fucking lost a shitload of money, dude. It didn't even, and it looks like the rest of their slate of films this year, what they have, like Captain Marvel 2 is coming out this year. That's going to lose a shitload of money, But
that was one thing I was going to address too with the show today too, is that it seems like with Ant-Man failing, they dropped that Disney Plus Willow show after one season, which is a shame because the original movie was good. And then they've canceled Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy that he had planned out. They said
couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Yep. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. No.
Yeah. I think Ryan Stone would make a better trilogy than Rian Johnson, but
I believe he
got the wrong Ryan. Yeah. But and then there was another one I think too that got canceled or delayed or something, and they've been saying they don't have a good forecast for Captain Marvel 2, or the Marvels or whatever they call it now.
There literally isn't a single Star Wars movie that's in production right now. How amazing is that? Like to think about, like the greatest film franchise of all time. Yeah, that's amazing.
Did you guys see the scene with Grogu, or as they call him, Baby Yoda, doing his force flip while he's training with the Mandalorian character on? I guess it was a recent episode. It looks so bad. It looks like
episode 4.
I guess so. Either episode 3 or 4. It was somebody had posted a video of it earlier on Twitter, and I saw it. And it looks like you're just taking a doll and throwing it over somebody, but like over a bad green screen. I don't know how to describe it other than the effects look so bad. And I'm thinking, this is Star Wars. This is supposed to be something I look forward to, not something I say, oh, I've missed that, or I haven't watched that yet.
I watched the first 3 episodes of Mando season 1, and then I turned it off and never came back to it. I was like, wow, this looks actually kind of cool. This could be kind of interesting. And I was like, oh, okay, this sucks. And I haven't watched any more Disney Star Wars stuff since. You know, I thought about maybe watching like the final season of the Clone Wars because I loved that show when it came out. So I might consider going and watching that at some point. I've heard mixed reviews.
You can skip 2 episodes because, of course, Disney, like what they did with the last season of the Clone Wars was they did the Siege of Mandalore. And, of course, because Kathleen Kennedy was involved, they had to put in the strong female characters. And Ahsoka gets like 2 she gets 2 filler episodes with like some hobo kids in the slums of Coruscant. And they have like the haircut. It's two female kids with the haircut. And I think you know exactly what I mean.
The haircut. I hate that. I know what you mean.
That might be like, obviously, aside from like being fat, because obviously no one was like that, but like that the short hair really is like the biggest turn off. Aside from that, it's like, for Christ's sake, like what am I supposed to grab onto? You know, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And then, you know what else? I know, Jack, you and I have always talked about our love for Obi-Wan, the series, right? You know, how much we love it.
I heard they fucked that up so bad.
There are good things in it. There are a couple of good things. I love Ewan McGregor in it. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
It's so painful to watch.
Yeah,
well, and you could tell even Christensen, you could tell he was trying too, but they made him he still looked like he was 40 when they tried to de-age him. It was that like goofy looking to me.
So
the training scene, I was like, what is like? I appreciate his efforts. It's nothing against Christensen, honestly. And even the scene where he gets his mask cut in half or whatever, right in and it's like having that little speech. I was like, that had if they had just carried that same sense of feeling throughout the series, I might have accepted it. But there was so much in it that I didn't like. Vader was awesome. I thought the stuff they had of him showing off his power, I was like, this is cool. I'll sit and watch this. But then we go to what's her face, the sister or whatever. Reva. And I'm like, I don't care about. Yeah, thank you, Reva. I've already forgotten. And Reva, and I'm going, I don't care because she was very predictable. Her little turn was extremely predictable. I went, oh, gee, I didn't see that coming. It was,
one of the things I hate the most that Disney has done within like the last 15 years. All other franchises that they own and other companies are trying to copy them. They like just inject the stupid fucking Marvel millennial humor into everything. It's like, do you remember in The Last Jedi, like the first fucking scene, they do like a fake hang up the phone call and like that's the bit and like they're going into this battle. I remember watching that movie in the theaters. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a Star Wars movie and we're doing like fucking phone call pranks in here.
Yeah, you're making a fucking, joke out of Hux. Like he was he was one of the better, more interesting characters in the first one because he was like a rise to power kind of guy and everything. And I thought that was, in the second movie, he barely acts or even looks the same. It's just they make him the slapstick comic relief instead.
Yeah, well, they call that. I think that was on purpose. It's called bathos, where like you have to at all costs make a serious scene funny. So it doesn't, it's because they want to maintain that kind of like childlike, innocence of the film. But like, it doesn't always work. And that's something you got to really inject very carefully. And like, if you're going to battle with the final, if you're going to, like, imagine if you're watching Lord of the Rings, and they're at the gates and, Aragorn's saying his speech and then some soldier in the crowd says something funny. That would have ruined that scene.
Oh my God.
It would have, the fans would have never forgiven Peter Jackson ever, and that's why you have to be careful with that kind of stuff.
The other thing is too is that you can inject like good humor into a scene, but it just seems so fake when you're injecting it in the way that they do it most of the times. Like they're like referencing like pop culture stuff right now. Like my mind goes back to something like, okay, in episode 4, Han is on like the phone with the guys in like the security block station. And he's like, everything's fine down here. We're okay. How are you? You know, like that's funny, you know, and he like cringes his own face because like he's trying to keep everything together, but he's in a high stress situation. And it's not like played off as a joke. He's trying his best, but it actually is funny. You know, that's like a proper way to inject humor into a scene, you know, and it's something that we all remember. And then he just shoots the fucking thing because he's Han Solo. He's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot this thing now.
That's a very human thing to do too. You know, you're just like making some up and just how are you? You know, and like you said, that cringe face. That's one of my favorite parts in that movie. That part, I laugh every time. So yes, that's legitimately good humor. And the other stuff, like you were mentioning in Last Jedi, it just feels forced and it feels like something you'd see in a movie that's meant for a comedy setting. It's not. It doesn't mesh well appropriately into the part of the movie specifically, at least. Like they could have had him try to act like he's, you know, losing connection or something, and he'd be like, "Okay, we're losing connection," instead of like he was making goofy faces and all this kind of stuff. Like, what are you talking about? I'm right here. Can you not hear me? I'm like, that's not. I feel like he would have not fallen for that for one thing, but for another, they just way overplayed it, and that was their biggest mistake there.
Remember when Vader just force choke bitches? Where it's like, oh, you're disobeying. Oh, you think you're funny. Done.
Yep.
Those were the good old days.
Yep.
Gosh. Frustrating though. But yeah,
well,
I mean the humor in Lord of the Rings though at least also has its moments and it's got its sense of
I still remember
charm.
the best joke is when I remember the best joke was when Gimli said that still counts as one. When he brought down the giant elephant, that was the best joke. After that, I was like, "Holy crap!" That was like masterful humor because it was like it played off Gimli's personality and his character. He's like rambunctious, competitive, but you know he likes Legolas, but they're like competitive, right? And Legolas is the quiet kind of like stoic elf, and then he brings him down, and then Gimli's like, "I don't care what you say, that's still one." Like. That's not fair, you know.
It was like, you could totally picture you having a conversation verbatim like that with one of your bros. You know, like you absolutely could. You know, like in any other situation, you know, when you guys are being competitive, you know, you could totally see yourself doing that. And it also plays off more if you had seen the extended cuts, because in the Two Towers, Gimli wins by one Urkai, and at the Battle of Helm's Deep,
it was still twitching.
Yeah,
I got my exactly. Embedded in his nervous system.
I'm actually really mad that they didn't put that in the theatrical cut because that's in the book. No, they do have the.
Man, I love the book version of it. It's written so. What's the word I'm looking for? So posh. That competition is so posh in the book. It's just amazing because I thought that was a movie thing only.
No, you have to wonder if like Tolkien got the idea like when he was literally sitting in the trenches at the Somme and like
shooting
some British guy, you know, that he was in like the trenches with, you know, was just shooting up some Germans or some Austro-Hungarians or something, and you know, just like we have to find some levity in this, you know, worst war in human history. So
exactly. That's what I think. I really love the little references that are like that in the book, almost direct line for line, like Bilbo saying, "I feel old like butter scraped over too much bread." And I was like, when I remember I read it the first time, because I read it after I watched it as a teenager, you know, and I went, "That was in the freaking movie. This is cool. It's so, you know, precise. It just feels, you know, it feels close to the real thing."
Back to our conversation about like the first Hobbit movie. I mean, like majority of the dialogue in like the first hour of that movie is just verbatim from the book.
But like the Hobbit is such a tragic tale. Like the Hobbit movies are just such a tragic tale where Peterson really wanted, like at first it was Guillermo del Toro, and when everything turned to shit, then they finally went to Jackson, and he had to clean up the mess. Where it's like if Jackson would have been there from the beginning, I don't think we would have had 3 films, but 2. And it would have been way better, and no Tower Yell or whatever crap. And I remember studios were breathing down his neck as well, because this is something that's happening with what's this? With Viggo Mortensen, where the studios were like, well, Aragorn's a fan favorite. And George R.R. Martin even mentioned this as well with Game of Thrones, where you have a story, but executives have these little tests where it's like, oh, but audiences can relate to this character, so we need more of this character. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense in the story. Yeah, but we don't care because they resonate with the audience. So you better write it like that.
There was definitely that all over the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
everywhere. Yeah,
I think it's in all media, like any fantasy, like The Witcher, man. I love The Witcher.
And, yeah, me too.
And the show, I was like, first of all, I was kind of lost, so I had to watch it like twice, each season twice, and then I think the ultimate thing was like, Henry Cavill did his best. Like he was Geralt. Like I believed he was Geralt. I thought at first I'm like, he's just Superman with the gray wig, you know? Like I couldn't believe it. But then after that first episode where he cuts everyone up, I'm like, yeah, okay, we got a serious. And then
he did the voice. The voice was just perfect. It was so good.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see more of his mentor. What was his name?
Vesemir.
Much more of Vesemir, because like I think that the mentorship thing in like fantasy movies is going away. Because it's only girl to guy or guy to girl. It's never guy to guy anymore. Like you have Luke Skywalker and Rey, but you don't have like, Luke Skywalker and some other character, right? I guess not that I know of. So it was nice. I was like, come on, man, more Vesemir and at least flashbacks or something more. But they focus more on the female, the witches and all that stuff.
Of course
so
they did.
It was like 60% witches and like 20% politics, like setting up the story, and then 20%. Geralt just adventuring. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
it was really bad. I mean, I watched the first season and I was like, okay, this is all right. I still think they progressed like way too fast through some like key events. And then like when I watched the second season, I got like halfway through. I was like, this is terrible. Why am I watching this? This is garbage. Like none of this makes sense. I have no feeling for like what part of the world they're in because everything looks the same because
we're too far removed. I felt like really far removed, like I just didn't feel like I was like, I couldn't commit to the story,
It's just something like so simple as like showing me a map. Like would have been so much nicer. Like, like the very opening of Lord of the Rings, like the very first fucking scene, they have Galadriel telling the story of Middle Earth and Sauron and setting up all the backstory. They have an entire map of Middle Earth. You can see it immediately. You don't need to have like conceived knowledge or anything like this. Like they give you the map, and then they do this at the very, very end of the story too, because like they show the map, the character's progress from Minas Tirith, and they show the entire path of the Fellowship of the Ring back to Hobbiton, so like you have a sense of scale for this world. All the places feel different because like the people dress differently. The obviously like skin tones and stuff are different. I mean, obviously for something like Lord of the Rings, but they can't do that shit anymore because of diversity. So you have groups of people that all look the same, that all talk the same, all their architecture's the same. It's like, where's my sense of like world here? I don't know. There's nothing different. There's nothing different between the different factions.
It's not immersive. It's not immersive.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not how the real world works, especially in like a medieval world where like you would never have like the levels of immigration that you have like in the world today. It's just so
or like have elves with fresh haircuts. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And everyone's speaking the same tone, dialect, and everyone just getting along with everyone. Like in The Witcher 3, you had Skellige, I think, and it was like more Nordic, like Scandinavian culture. And I felt as soon as I like started playing that part of the story, I felt it right away. I was like, yeah, this is like very different. And I feel like I was actually kind of worried. I'm like, I don't even know, am I liked here? I might have to fight every single NPC that on this island. And the game did that so good where every city, every region felt like super different, and it was like the monsters were different, the culture was different. Like as soon as you step onto Skellige, I think you see a Viking funeral, like a classic, they shoot the arrow and all that stuff. And I'm just like, they're so smart in that they use already existing culture and put it into Skellige, into a part of the game, so you can feel like live that history. But they're not going to outright say that, oh, this is Viking culture. They just say, no, this is just how we do it in the Skellige, Skellige.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so easy to do, but I guess they missed the point,
Yeah, it also just makes sense in the context of like where they're positioned in the world. They're basically like in the middle of the map. You know, like it's very easy for them to become like a raiding people. They have many like they're in the middle of the world. There's plenty of like rich trade routes that are by them. Like, yeah, of course they're gonna be raiders and seafaring people. You know, like it just things like tie together and things make sense. You know, and like a lot of people like will critique. You know, like it's just like, oh, it's just like internet autism, like breaking down these kinds of things. It's like, no, like I need to be immersed like in my story. It's what makes it good. It's what makes me go back. I mean, like this is what was so great about like the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones too. Like everything felt different. The sets were different. The architecture was different. The way people dressed was different. The way they talked was different. You know, they showed you the giant map and the opening credits of every single scene, like, which it seems like such a small thing, but like these small things add up and make differences. I remember, like, I think it was in our pilot episode of the show, I was talking about that fucking god awful scene where Sansa in like season 8 or 7 of Game of Thrones is talking to the blacksmith.
On that armor?
Yeah, exactly. Why is there no fur on this armor? It's like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? This guy's been making armor in the North for over 30 years. He knows how to fucking make armor. Are you fucking kidding me? They have to do this thing where they make all the other characters around them just complete fucking morons in order to make them seem smart. And it's just bad writing. It's lazy. It's stupid. It breaks my immersion, and I just don't believe you.
Bingo.
Yeah. I hate when I like it when they maintain the illusion of it for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I don't even want to get into The Last of Us and all the bad things they did with that series. I mean, it was, man. I understand that there was some good, like, was it the gay episode where they were like Ron Swanson's gay episode? That was well written. If it would have been any other season or show, that was well written. But I'm just like, dude, in the game, they hated each other. It was a love-hate it was a toxic relationship, and one of them ended up killing each other, killing themselves. Like, that game was too dark to be adapted into a film or to a show. I think it wasn't. The world's not ready for that kind of game or for that to be into a show.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Imagine what they'll do with the second one.
Yeah.
They ought to be trannies.
Don't give them any ideas, man. They'll fucking do it.
I mean,
they're gonna do it.
Last of Us 2 already has that. So
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's already lining up for them. You know,
they're already they're gonna like push the button so hard on that. They're gonna be like, yes.
yeah,
They're gonna make strong woman character even more sympathetic or whatever than they tried to do in the second game, if I remember right. That was
that was so funny when that game was coming out because you actually had like memes adopting Abby like as a trans icon, even though like in canon in the game she's not. But that's just kind of like one of those like mask off kind of moments, you know, where like it's just like, oh, they just know that like, you know, the Blair White people, like they just don't look this way. They don't look like normal people. So it was just one of those mask off moments. It's like, oh yeah, she's a trans icon. It's like she's not even trans, but she looks trans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really what I'm
pushing.
A masculine woman. That's what they want.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
You guys want to wrap up?
Yeah, I was about to say it's been an hour already. Went by quick.
It's getting late.
Time just flies by when you're having fun, and Jack needs to take off his robe, you know, and
oh no, I sleep in this thing. I was like,
wait, you got like a little snuggie, you know?
We should do a show where we're all in robes. All four of us are just in robes.
I'll do it. I would do that. Yeah. Yep. We'll call it.
I mean, I know people who don't have a robe. I know people who don't have a robe, and I'm like, you're not living life. You know, you are not living life to the fullest. You do not know what pure comfort is until you have a robe.
I just walk around with my cock out, you know, just like
you hold back a cock.
That could be dangerous, you know. You could get electrocuted if it falls into a socket or something. So.
Yeah, you can get chopped off these days. I mean, that's all the rage.
There's so much pinch points.
I might accidentally step on it and trip over it. You know.
Well, gay men supposedly have a larger unit, so
this is true. Yeah.
Go look up A Billion Wicked Thoughts. It's a great book with all strange statistics, and that was one of them that was in there. Where it's like, okay, interesting.
I remember this is something. I mean, I know we're trying to wrap up, but this was something that Torsia said one time. I remember this sticking out to her. She's like, "Yeah, anytime a girl looks at a really scrawny dude, the first thing she thinks is big fucking dick." Yes, we do.
Yeah. What? Because if you get in shape, your dick shrinks. If you get in shape, apparently.
No, like the thinner you are, the bigger your dick is.
Yeah. That's what she was saying. I
When
guess
when did she say that?
Oh, this is on like fuck. I don't remember. I have to find it.
Oh Christ! Like
yeah,
I haven't seen her stuff, so but what? It sounds like her though. It sounds.
Oh
like
yeah.
her.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty good impression, though. I mean, that was really good. You did that.
No. She's no. She doesn't have the Valley Girl thing. She's way more.
I don't know.
All over the place.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Schizo.
We should do a Halloween episode where we dress up as like the so-called Manosphere women, and they dress up as us.
I call Mac.
I'll do Allie because she's Puerto Rican and I grew up.
Oh, yeah,
I'll do Allie. I'll do the.
I was about to say it's fitting with it.
Yeah, and then we should do a reverse whatever podcast where it's one Twitter girl asking us questions and we just get annoyed and angry at everything.
Oh my god, that would be really
funny. Look at these angry fuck boys or whatever.
We could absolutely pull it off because Allie would do that. Allie would totally do that.
Oh, we have to. Dude, you guys heard it here first. We're doing the reverse, and it's instead of whatever, it's gonna be whoever.
Yeah.
Look at these angry I'm gonna sit there with my cleavage all the way.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Write that.
I'll write that down. Yeah, we gotta.
That would be great.
I don't know, Jack. We'll message Allie in DMs and she'll set it up.
Do it.
She'll totally do it.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this one up.
Yeah, right. Let's wrap it up. So we'll, I guess, go around as we always do and say what we've got going on. And so start with Hawk. Go Nuclear. Go Jack. So go Hawk.
All right. Cool. All right. You guys can find me on Twitter at RedPillHawk. Same thing at the YouTube. I got my own show going on in an hour. We're talking about Bronze Age pervert, so that'll be fun. So go in and tune into that. And then also check out the Old Glory Club where most of my Substack stuff is found these days. So awesome.
Okay.
Nice. Sweet.
Hey, so just follow me on Twitter. Same as my YouTube, CAUDILLO Nuclear backwards, and then I want to start doing more, start streaming on Twitch a little bit more. But I just don't have a lot of time right now. But yeah, Twitch TV, Nuclear CAUDILLO, and then I should be dropping another video either tomorrow or Saturday morning about having the right attitude and dating, which is a big problem, I guess, nowadays. And that's all I have.
Perfect.
I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Jack needs his beauty sleep. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Good time.
Yeah, sell a Gumroad course about getting beauty sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and how to save the West with beauty sleep.
You people know what to find.
Instead of a workout consultation, you got a sleep consultation instead.
Yeah.
Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh is trending on Twitter.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool. Bye, you guys.
Yeah, good show. And y'all know where to find me, either on here or on Twitter. And that's all linked on YouTube. So I'm too lazy to say it. Anyway.
Cheers.
All right, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Later.